Yeah, coach, I saw that Eastern Illinois' game against Edwardsville Thursday is canceled. Or excuse me, tomorrow night, um,
Mm.
Tuesday is canceled. Does that put your all's game Thursday in jeopardy that you know of at the moment?
That's news to me. I'm not aware of that. I know Edwardsville's Saturday game with Jacksonville State had been postponed, so I don't know for a fact that it's because of Edwardsville, but I haven't been alerted to anything there.
Matt, you talked the other day about toughness needs to improve on your team, and I know that's usually one of those non-negotiable, non-teachable. It's an expectation. So how do you teach that right now, or sort of just demand improvement in that area?
But I think as a coach, it's your job to get through to the players, whether that's one-on-one or in the team meeting setting, the culture with which you build your program. And toughness has been a trademark of our program. It's something that I believe in. I'm not talking about just physically dominating people, but the mental side of the game, I think, is so important. And we have a lot of improvement that has to be made there. I think it starts with those conversations. I think it then leads into a change in the structure of practice to create more competition, to create more adversity so that we can grow individually and together as a team and make the improvement in those areas.
I've heard other coaches talk about, sort of when they're dealing with a multitude of issues. It's not any just one thing that you can maybe get bogged down with trying to fix too many things at one time. Is there a very short list right now that you can share at all of sort of what the focus is right now?
There's really one list, Jeff. Mindset. I just believe in it. And I think some of the pandemic scheduling really points to that. For example, some of these leagues that have gone to where they're playing back-to-back days at the same location, I would, and I've shared with our team, Friday night, Wright State beat Oakland by 40 points. The next afternoon, Oakland won by 15. My alma mater, Appalachian State, scored 56 points on Friday night. They lost by 15 to Troy. 16 hours later, they scored 90 and won by 31 points. Saturday, Colgate beat Army by 44 points. 44 points. Yesterday afternoon, Army won by 2. So I just find it hard to believe, and those are all very good coaches I mentioned there. I find it hard to believe they reinvented their offensive system overnight. They reinvented and what they do defensively overnight. There had to be a change in mindset in individuals and the team that led to 50 and 60-point swings in back-to-back days. And so that's an area where I'm really going to focus, is on the mentality of our players individually and that of the team. And I think if we can improve that mindset, we'll see our play be a lot better.
You alluded to it a little bit the other night after Belmont, but I guess going back 6 years ago when you had a very talented team, you go up to Xavier, you get blitzed, you go to Nashville for a couple of days, you start out poorly there, and you're kind of looking around like, okay, I know we're a very talented team, but this is not working right now. Is there anything that you're able to pull from those experiences as a coach 6 years ago that you might be able to try to get the ship turned in the direction you want it to go?
I do, Jeff. Self-reflection, self-evaluation, both as coaches and as players. We got to be able to create more buy-in and commitment to what we're trying to get accomplished together as a team. And, I love our team. I think we have good players. I think we have versatility. I think we have inside-outside balance. obviously it's been a brutal 12 days for our team. We've lost 7 league games in 3 years. We just lost 3 in 12 days. So there has to be change, but there has to be commitment to change. And, I enjoy that part of coaching. Yeah, that was a lot of fun winning the 25 games in a row that year. It was a lot of fun, winning 28 games a couple years ago and playing in the round of 32. And that's a blast. But I think if you're in coaching for the right reasons, I've got to look at this. How can I help our players make the change that it's going to take for us to be a better team? And, is it fun to be sitting here having lost 3 league games in a row at 1-3 in our conference? No, it stinks. But I think it's our responsibility as coaches to help our players understand what we have to do to get better and move forward. I know, Jeff, we always talk about the NFL and, know it's a tough year for your Eagles. But I love watching the NFL Hall of Fame ceremony. I love hearing the speeches of those people who are the best of the best in what they do. And I'll probably mess up the wording, but I remember when Bill Parcells gave his speech, he said, losers assemble in small groups and they blame the other players on the team. They blame the coaches. Winners assemble together as a team and find ways to win. And so I believe we have a lot of winners in our program, and I expect we'll come together and assemble as a team and find ways to win.
And some of those changes you were talking about, you shuffled the starting lineup Saturday. Do you expect you're going to shuffle it again? Expect any other changes in the start?
It'll depend on practice this week, Steve. It's, everybody's got a clean slate. We'll toss the ball up today in practice and see who earns the minutes this week. So I have no idea who will start, who will play. But I know what I'm looking for in a team. And so that's what we're going to work to do. I think it's also important to always remember it's not necessarily the 5 best players that need to be on the floor. It's getting the 5 that play the best together. And so we're still obviously searching hard for that.
I think if the number corrects in my head, you guys shot 27 free throws, I think, on Saturday, which has been a little bit more than you have shot throughout the year. I think your free throw rate is way down, for whatever value it is. The percentage of your points that come from free throws is as low as it's been in the last 20 years. Is there anything you can point to with that, why getting to the line and being productive there has been such a challenge for you guys this year?
Yeah, it's a toughness stat, Jeff. Just like it's the lowest free throw rate we've had since I've been here. In my 6 years, it's the lowest offensive rebounding rate we've had since I've been here. It's the highest turnover rate we've had since I've been here. And it's the lowest 3-point percentage we've had since I've been here. Hard to win games when you don't do those things well. And when you do them really poorly, it's really difficult to win games. So, I think, again, we got to get there more often. I was glad to see us start to get there. I thought you saw us play with more physicality, more aggression in the paint in the second half, and that's how we were able to start getting some free throws. But we got to be a lot more consistent, and those are 4 areas that we have to get a lot better in if we want to have an opportunity to win another game.
Eastern Illinois, a team that has shown that they're one of the better teams in the league so far this year. I guess just what are your thoughts heading into that one?
Well, I think they're really good, Jeff. I think they're well coached. The stability that Coach Spoonhour's brought to their program I believe he's the longest tenured coach in our league. He does a terrific job. They have one of, if not the most efficient scorer in our league, in Josiah Wallace. He can hurt you in a lot of different ways. He shoots it really well from three. He doesn't shoot a lot of them, but his mid-range game is so good. He can post you. He gets to the basket. He gets to the free throw line. Does a lot of things well. We know about Max Smith, his ability to shoot the ball from three. And then in Friday and Dixon in their front court, two of the top offensive rebounders in the country right now. So it gives them good balance there. Defensively, they really pressure you. They're getting 8 steals a game. And then just overall as a team, they're the second most experienced team in all of college basketball. So I think that experience has been good for them this year.
When you have met with your guys most recently, whenever that was, what are you seeing from them? What are you seeing in their eyes, I guess, when you're talking to them right now?
I think just disappointment with where we're at, but I hope, like me, excitement that we have an opportunity to keep playing basketball and getting better. And that's the key point here, Jeff. As disappointed as I am with the last couple of weeks, we still have 80% of our season left. We have 8 weeks playing Thursday, Saturday, 80% of our league schedule left to play. So we've got to really turn the page and understand where we need to get better, and then commit to making the changes that are necessary to get better in those areas. And I don't think it's really rocket science what we have to improve upon, but you have to change your mindset before you can get better as a player and as a team.
This is an area that your veteran players aren't used to being in. What do you see from them? Because they're not used to being in a losing record situation early on in conference play.
Yeah, I think they're hungry to get it fixed, to make the necessary changes that we have to make, get better. I think as disappointed as they are, I think they also understand we do have 80% of our season left. And so we have to make the commitment to get better. I think that starts with the change of mindset. I think that starts on the practice floor. Just being very honest, I don't know that we can fix everything between now and Thursday. But I know we can play a heck of a lot harder. I know we can play with a lot more toughness. I know we can play with a lot more unselfishness. I know we can play with a lot more focus. And I expect us to work hard these next 3 days to do that.
Well, the reason I asked about the veteran players is because you said sometimes it's not the most talented players, it's the 5 that play well together. And that's why I was trying to figure out, you mentioned certain stats that are kind of at lows since you've been there, but I look at the defensive side too, though. You're up there at the top on the defensive end, and so you're not far off from where Belmont is on a field goal percentage. So you said you like the team. I know 1-3 seems glaring, but can it be turned around? I guess, like you said, with the mental aspect, because some stats, like the mentioned, they're glaring, but I think there are other stats that kind of say you're not far off.
Yeah, no, and I certainly don't intend to paint a picture of doom and gloom. There are areas that are very, very fixable for our team if we're willing to commit to those things. And you're right, there are some great stats. I mean, I think you can always spin the stats how you want. Like we were disappointed with the 2 road losses at Austin Peay in Southern Illinois. But I look at the 2 games and we had 36 turnovers. We were minus 27 free throw attempts, and our guard shot 19% from 3. And I say all that, and we had the ball in the last minute of both games to win. Going into Saturday's game, we were second in the country in field goal attempts at the rim. But, it's a pretty important stat. We all want to get the ball close to the rim where we can score. We were 12th in the country in percentage at the basket. Well, we got there. We were 7 of 21 at the rim on Saturday, 33% on layups, essentially. So I agree with you. I mean, we're not trying to blow up our entire program. I believe in what we do. The the core values that we've used to trademark our program, that's not going to change. But we also have to be willing to make some changes in the areas we must improve if we want to have an opportunity to win games.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Matt, last question. Is there anything to, and again, to your point of you're not fixing everything in the next 72 hours, but is there something to just having a positive result? Just something good to happen for you guys, the proverbial just see the ball go through the hoop, that maybe they get a little confidence built up and can start spinning forward out of that?
No, I think that's really important, Jeff. We need to see the ball go through the basket from behind the three-point arc. We need to have more confidence. We need to step up to the free throw line and knock down our opportunities there. And we need to have more success on the floor. I mean, you look at the last two games, I mean, you give up 68 points at Belmont. You give up 61 points on your home floor. That should be enough to give yourself an opportunity to win the games. But we just have been so inefficient offensively that we've failed to put up even a decent number of points. So, I think in execution-wise, that's an area we have to get better. And I think all players are that way. They get some success going, feed off that confidence, and try and get some positive momentum moving forward with our season.